And we are live. All right, guys, how's it going? Welcome to Nerd Reports E3 2017 review and recap. My name is Chris, I'm your host, and to my left is.
Frank, I am your co-host.
I've never had a co host.
Oh,
Who is
well,
this guy? Who let him in? You're
um,
fired.
yes,
Nobody's here, it's okay.
yes, some guy named Steve.
Who's Steve?
I don't know.
Okay.
You're guessing it's mine.
So, anyway, guys, this is Well, for the video game portion, this is our first live broadcast and our video cast.
Happy birthday!
I wanted to do something, but I just couldn't think of what to do. But anyway, so what we are bringing you guys is our thoughts, our impressions of E3 this year, and you guys are going to be able to ask us any questions, any things you want to hear about E3 that we don't mention. You're free to ask in the chat. Actually, I should probably open the chat
It'd be a good
in
idea.
case somebody asks anything. So we'll be going ahead and talking, giving our thoughts, and if we see something interesting in the chat, we'll go ahead and read that. Anyway, so let's talk about pre-E3.
Okay.
That would be press conferences. Actually, before I do that, let me do a quick plug. So if you guys aren't familiar with, well, actually, you should be familiar if you're following us on our report / Nuke the Fridge. We have a Patreon. Everything you guys donate will help us improve. We have a nice little office right here, right now. It's not even an office, but we're filming right now. Everything you donate will help us improve in the future. We'll also be uploading videos. We've got some E3 videos we're uploading right now as we speak on YouTube. And we'll just be getting a lot better. So hopefully one day we can have like one of those cool IGN offices.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Would be great to hang out at our own lobby instead of sharing the media lobby at E3.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that part. I mean, I'm cool with that,
Yeah.
but E3, I'm never in a lobby anywhere. I'm on the floor walking around.
Yeah.
I mean,
it'd be nice to have like a waypoint where we can just rest our feet for like 5 seconds. That'd be really cool.
That's just me sitting down anywhere at the bars over there. So anyway, let's talk about pre-E3 press conferences. We're gonna go out of order just because I don't want to look up the order right now. My laptop's over there.
Definitely.
So we'll start off with, I believe the first press conference was EA.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of that?
Yeah, I did. I caught a lot of the major beats. I was actually kind of impressed. I feel like
You were impressed by EA?
a little bit. I wasn't impressed by any of the missing high fives.
By the way, every time you smack on the table, I can hear that.
Oh, my bad.
So they get to hear that.
Okay. I was impressed by a lot of the Battlefront stuff, and
Were you impressed by all the influencers they had on stage?
yeah, they were riveting. It was so good. You know what? I've never seen someone miss a high five in such spectacular fashion. It was great. I loved it. Oh my god. Hopefully someday I'll be that good. But as far as Battlefront, I'm actually kind of interested in this one. The first one, I don't know what it was. I just knew I was going to be disappointed. Then when I played at E3, that just kind of sealed the deal for me. But this one very much feels like it's harkening back to the Battlefront 2 days, you know? Even bringing in the ability to play as battle droids, like that was fantastic.
Did you go to by chance to EA Play?
No, I did not.
I did not either. That thing, I had an appointment to go, but by the time I got there, parking was like full. You couldn't park anywhere. The line was already around the building.
Yeah.
Everything was outside, and I really didn't want to deal with that heat. So I just I bailed. I was like, I just drove up. I'm like, all right, let me find street parking. Didn't find anything. I went to one of the local lots, $25. I just like, yoink.
I was busy writing for the site, so.
Okay. Let's see. I know they talked about that. They what else did they talk about? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Need for Speed.
Yeah, the new Need for Speed. A couple of other things. Nothing super impressive to me.
Yeah.
Of course, you got the Maddens, you got the FIFAs.
Of course, your
your basic sports. The only thing is the new Need for Speed. Obviously, it had a lot of burnout, which is something they've incorporating since purchasing Criterion.
Oh, of course. You know, which actually begs the question. I personally, why haven't we seen a Burnout? And I understand that nowadays you could argue, well, Need for Speed is very similar to Burnout, so why would you need Burnout? But it just
because Burnout's funner.
Exactly, it has a much more different feel.
One of these with my water. I don't know which one.
And I would definitely like to play something that's not Fast and the Furious, the game.
I completely agree with that, but whatever EA wants to do. Okay, then
Although, real quick, I was kind of surprised we didn't see any of the new Star Wars game.
it was on the floor. I
Yeah.
think they were just like, yeah, well, we'll show this in some kind of video, and then it's on the floor at E3. You can come down to EA play it, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's what their thoughts was. The only thing I liked about last Battlefield, I remember we streamed it here. We did a midnight release. We filmed over there. Then we played it for till 8 in the morning. And it was cool to play for the first week, and then I just stopped playing.
Yeah, and I feel like that was kind of the issue with a lot of the EA stuff last year. I loved Titanfall; it was great, but I didn't play it for long. It was definitely an improvement over the first one, but this very much felt like this is what the first one should have been to begin with. Yeah, I couldn't hold my attention for more than a couple of days, and I would go in and out of it, but I couldn't consistently play it.
Mm-hmm. Did you play Titanfall 2?
Yeah.
That was a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Titanfall 2.
Oh, okay, I think you meant 1 originally.
Oh, no. No, what I'm saying is I liked Titanfall 2.
I know, you just said Titanfall.
Yeah, my bad. I meant
you failed.
I have failed. Yeah, but last year's Titanfall 2, I think, was a vast improvement over the original. I thought it, again, was what Titanfall 1 should have been. I liked having a campaign. I liked not being tethered to the internet. I liked, having just an overall better experience.
Okay, next we jumped over to the next press conference, which, if I'm correct, is Bethesda.
Yes, that I did not watch. So you have to film
Bethesda I did watch, and they had a lot of nice surprises. Obviously, one of the biggest ones was Wolfenstein 2.
Okay.
Did you see the booth they had for E3 there?
Yeah, did you get a milkshake?
I wish. I wanted to get in. We tried getting some press credentials. Unfortunately, they were booked. I wanted a milkshake. That's all. I mean, I wanted to play the game, and I really love the diner theme they had. But
yeah, it looked really good. I was at Bandai Namco during our appointment, and I walk out, and I'm just like, man, that looks so cool. And they were advertising milkshakes. I'm like, it's so good to get in there.
That line was like 3-4 hours long.
And I was gonna go in there, but maybe I should flash credentials. But if I remembered, if I didn't hear anything from Chris, I'm pretty sure he couldn't get in either. So why bother?
No, but we tried. I wish. So let's see. They had the Wolfenstein. That trailer looked great. I'm really looking forward to that game, and it comes out this year.
Fantastic.
Which was a nice little surprise.
But this is really good with their release dates. They're whenever we see a trailer, it's usually coming out this year or probably within the next 9 months.
Yeah. That's something I'm going to bring up soon too when we hit up the big 3 very soon.
Oh yes.
Trying to remember. I know they announced Skyrim VR. Yes, you get to do Skyrim VR now and see your hands moving and everything.
I think it's hilarious that this is 2017 and E3 we've had 2 Skyrim announcements.
It's never gonna die.
No.
We're gonna keep getting more Skyrim. But we've known about the second Skyrim announcement for some time.
Oh yeah.
Trying to remember what else they announced.
Still no release date though.
Yeah. They had a bunch of different announcements, but the biggest one that left its mark for me was Wolfenstein. Let's see. After that, we're gonna jump over to the first. Actually, I'm gonna say the big 3 back to back to back, and I think we'll do those actually right after this one, which was Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Ubisoft announced their big MMO pirate game. I think it was Skull and Crossbones.
Yeah, Skull and Crossbones.
Which was just kind of funny because what was it? Microsoft's been promoting Sea of Thieves for some 2-3 years now.
Oh, I know.
And I don't think they got a release date.
No, and
Skull and Crossbones is coming out, I think, next year.
Yeah.
So it's just hilarious.
Yeah, and you know what? I think we're gonna finally get a release date for that game, probably next year's E3. And if Cuphead is anything to go off of,
yeah, we'll get into that one in a minute.
Yeah, I think when we should count down the years that Cuphead was at E3, and then we'll
3 to 4 years.
3 or 4 years. So I think once we hit the 4-year mark, we'll have a Sea of Thieves release date.
Oh god, yeah, but Skull and Crossbones looks pretty good. It's
I
think it was a 4-4 or 5-on-5 game.
Yeah.
And again, that's by Ubisoft, and it uses the knowledge that they got from the Assassin's Creed Black Flag game.
Yeah, and you know what? I was looking at that, and I was like, you know what? This looks like a game that had all the best aspects of Black Flag. I remember playing a lot of the C stuff, and I'm like, I wish this was just its own game. And then I walked down the Ubisoft booth, and I was like, oh my god, they actually did that. Someone out there was listening to me, I guess.
But it's just so funny that this game's coming out, I think, next year, and Sea of Thieves is something that Rare has been working on for years.
Yeah.
So I think it took all of its hype.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be Battleborn and Overwatch all over again, I think.
We'll see how that one works out, though. Which one will be Battleborn?
Oh, I know. I don't think Microsoft can afford to be Battleborn right now.
I want to talk about that one again very, very, very soon. Something Microsoft did that annoyed the hell out of me. Then first they opened with Rabbids Cross Super Mario.
Yeah.
Which was leaked months ago.
Oh yeah.
But I actually didn't care about the game when they leaked it.
Yeah.
I was like, Rabbids and Mario, how's that gonna work?
Yeah, you know what? The Wii had got me sick and tired of Rabbids. I was just like, I don't ever want to see another Rabbids anything. Like after the Wii had like a ton of Rabbids shovelware, I'm like, if I never see another Rabbids anything, I'll be happy. And then of course they announced Super Mario Rabbids. I'm like, you know what? I think I might have to pick that up when that comes out.
After seeing it, I have to pick it up.
Yeah.
Did you see the figures they had?
Yeah.
If you went, so on the show floor this year, because it was open to the public, certain booths were selling. They had stores. Bethesda had one. Ubisoft had one. Natsumi had one. Square had one. And if you went inside, they had displays of the upcoming Rabbids Mario figures. That Peach one is my favorite.
Yeah.
You can get the small ones for $20 or the larger ones for $40.
Yeah.
1 sec. Coke Zero people. Soda's been hitting me today. But yeah, that game works really cool because it's a strategy game.
Yeah.
And the way it played really looked cool. And I like when Miyamoto came out. First time I think this is the first time I've heard that he showed up at another company's press conference.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that. That one comes out October.
Yeah.
Well, so I have
no. I think Rabbids comes out August.
Was it August?
Yeah, because Mario is October.
Right.
And then Pokken is September.
Oh, yay, DX. So that was probably their one. Assassin's Creed was also shown, but that was also shown first at Microsoft.
Microsoft, yeah.
And I have to say the trailer did not impress me whatsoever. No. But I didn't get to play the game, but a few of my friends who did said it was so much better than the trailer. So they're excited for the game. It's the true Assassin's Creed experience that they've been waiting for, because the last ones have been crap.
To say the least.
Yeah, and that's just because Ubisoft had that mentality of releasing one every single year. And we started off with Unity.
Yeah, glitches aside, I think I haven't been a fan. I think the last one I could actually play was Black Flag.
That's the last one I actually did play, like, straight through.
Yeah.
I had Unity. I played it 3-4 hours, and I was done. All right, now let's jump into the big three.
Okay.
First, we start off with Microsoft. And the one reason I was really annoyed with them is they said, well, after talking about Xbox One X, XBOX, very my smart. Gosh. I would have rather gone with Scorpio.
You know what? My issue is, and I found myself doing this, sometimes I'll say Xbox S instead of Xbox X. Mm-hmm. As a parent, what are you going to do when your kid's like, I want an Xbox X? And they go in there and they see the S, it's much cheaper. It looks virtually the same except in white.
Yeah.
And parents are just going to pick up the cheaper alternative.
Yeah. What, $249? I think it's going to be the price, $299 to $49 nowadays.
I honestly expect them to probably drop down the 500 gig to probably 200.
Yeah. But anyway, after revealing that, and we'll get into that in a second, they announced 23 exclusives.
Exclusives?
Yes, exclusives. That's literally the word. And I was like, hey, Microsoft hasn't had any really big exclusives for a while. Indie games, okay, that's cool. But AAA, last thing they had really big, they talked about yesterday, Scalebound.
Yeah.
And that got canceled.
which sucks because I was really looking forward to that. That to me felt like
You know,
their answer
normally I want to curse right now,
Mhm.
but I'm just gonna keep that in because I really wanted Scalebound. It
Same.
looked gorgeous.
Same. It felt like Xbox's answer to what's it called? Monster Hunter. You know? And I was really looking forward to being
And it
able
was
to play
being
with my
made by
friends.
Platinum Games.
Exactly. You know, Platinum's always making really good stuff, and the fact that we were getting a Platinum title on the Xbox, I think, would have been a great selling point. And I think when that died, a lot of people just lost interest.
There was also a rumor that they were probably going to bring that back, and I was hoping to hear that.
Exactly.
And
but at the same time, I think at a marketing standpoint, people would have been like, "Oh my God, you're so full of garbage. You guys, oh, we're canceling it. Oh no, we're not." It would have been kind of their 180, if you will. From
I would have rather had the 180 because they hear the fans. Fans have wanted this thing, so you have to meet demands because honestly, your system hasn't been doing that well.
No.
The Xbox One. I'm gonna say this. So people aren't happy that obviously there was a PS4, PS4 Pro.
Of course
And
not.
they're like, well, the Pro's better, blah, blah, blah. Why are you spending money to do this, blah, blah, blah. Well, the difference is the PS4 and the PS4 Pro aren't too different. They are different. There is more power on the PS4 Pro. Visually, it can be a little impressive, but everything still works, right?
Exactly.
Then you've got the Xbox One, which was very underpowered compared to the PS4.
Yeah.
Then you've got the S, which was a little better than the PS4 in terms of specs. And then you get the Scorpio, or
The X.
XBOX, which is a huge upgrade. And it's just like, why were you going to bring out, well, I know you bring out the S to try to match certain things with the PS4, but then you're releasing your other secret title, which everybody knew about at the same time as the S, a few months later, or actually I should say a year later. It really just shows really bad sense on their part.
Yeah, you know, and my issue with that is that a lot of these consoles just kind of feel like their new 3DS, I guess. You know, home console versus the new 3DS or the DSi, where, yeah, sure, if you want to have the newer version, yeah, that's great and all, but for the most part, if you get the base console, you're fine. You know, I personally play Xbox because a lot of my friends had 360s. They remembered the great feeling of having a 360.
The 360 was a good system.
Oh, it was a fantastic console.
You know, I was always a Sony guy, and I'm still more of a Sony guy than an Xbox guy. But I still enjoyed both systems. I had an Xbox 360. I bought a PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, Switch, 3DS, all on release date.
Yeah.
I could have waited for the next version because I know they're coming, but I wanted to play it. The main reason I didn't get my Xbox 360, unfortunately. Well, I did have a Day Zero back when they had a Day Zero event, but I got rid of that pretty quickly because I wanted to use the money to get my 500, actually my 60 gig PS3 backwards compatible back in the day. But I ended up getting the 360 a few years, like I think a year or two later for Tales of
Vesperia.
Vesperia.
Yeah, and you know, not funny that you mentioned it. I don't remember a single third-party exclusive on Xbox 360, and yet I loved that console to death. I don't know what it was, but I constantly played that console, and a lot of my friends remembered that, so they bought Xbox Ones. And as it turns out, my Xbox One is my multi-plat console. So, because all my friends refuse to buy PlayStations, and my PlayStation is my exclusive console. So that's where I play my Kingdom Hearts, my Persona, you know, all of those things that are, you know.
So we're the opposite. All my friends play PS4, so we're just playing on that. My Xbox One is just for certain titles.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a bunch of friends who have Xbox Ones, but I find myself on my PS4 even more.
Yeah. See, and then I personally have no problem admitting that my Xbox One is my Forza console.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I bought it for Forza. I play Forza all the time. I have my same group of friends who play, like, you know, Marvel with me, or will play Gears or any other game that I play. Will play Forza with me. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like I'm buying a third Xbox, and I hate that I'm doing it.
I'm not even gonna touch it.
You know, and I'm doing it because I have a really nice 4K TV.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a 4K TV, so that doesn't bother me too much.
Lucky you, you know. But I remember when I got the S, I had so many problems with that console. I was constantly calling Vizio and they would tell me, "Oh no, it's not on our end. Everything works on our end. It must be Microsoft." And then I call Microsoft, and they're like, "Oh no, 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 no. Well, all of our, all the companies that we talk to, all of that works." And so it was just kind of phone tag.
I think I know what your problem was. The problem is there's 4K, and then there's 4K. You've got one of the lower brand 4Ks.
Yeah.
And that is just, what's the best way to put it? That's your 1080p improved, supposedly 4K.
Yeah, 1080p plus.
That's on Vizio because you bought a cheaper one, probably on a holiday special.
No, it was, I think, a little bit. Yeah, it might have been a holiday special.
The holiday special. Those
bit.
aren't true 4K.
Yeah, it was a 2016 2016 P series. Yeah.
Yeah, that's roughly what it was. That's not true 4K.
Yeah.
And that's the issue where they call it 4K, but
because I remember like I like to review things meticulously.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that after I've finally made my decision, better stuff comes out.
Well, that's gonna be every time with technology.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
new TVs come out every few months.
Yeah.
From different brands. I used to have a Vizio TV and I liked it, and then I moved over to Samsung, and I'm sitting there. I'll get a true 4K TV, probably in about 2 years when it's a lot more affordable.
Yeah, and when it's a lot more like I guess mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the most part, your main issue is it's not true 4K.
Yeah, and you know what?
So it doesn't communicate correctly.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here thinking about this, and I was like, you know what? I researched everything, and everyone, CNET was like, oh, it's a fantastic 4K TV. It's really good. IGN is like, oh, it's in our top 5 4K if you have an Xbox S. And I'm just like, really? Because every time I plug this thing in, I get a big white screen with a bunch of colorful dots, or it'll
same model.
Yeah, and it'll black out. And I remember turning in the 4K TV like 3 times. I remember turning in my Xbox S 3 times and swapping them out at GameStop or Best Buy, and nothing.
So this year, well, actually I should say early next year, you have some homework to do.
I do.
You're going to CES with me, and you're going to learn about true 4K, true quality, all that stuff, because that's something you have to see and learn more about, rather than, I like going to websites, hearing what their thoughts are, but half the times they're not your true news. IGN, I'm not going to insult them or anything, but sometimes their reviews are incorrect because they're doing so many.
Too much water.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. So you'll learn more about it at CES when we go through all that stuff. Anyway, so I want to get back into
Microsoft.
Well, yeah, we'll finish that. So what I do like is the video card they're using alone is worth the price.
Yeah.
But again, do you really need to upgrade? And that's the magical question. I have an Xbox One. I don't touch it too much. I have 4 games on it. Dead Rising 4. Second game I don't even remember because I haven't touched it in forever. Rare Replay, which is when I was really happy. And then I recently bought Gears of War 4 at Walmart for $20.
Of course.
Because it had the other 4 downloadable games.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, 5 games for $20. I can't complain.
Yeah.
And that's all I've really played.
Yeah. See, for the people that do religiously play their Xbox.
Oh, but hold on. Let me just finish that really quick. So then the Xbox One S came, and I'm like, do I really want to drop another $300?
$400.
Yeah, sorry, $400.
$400. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
And then now you're getting the Xbox One Scorpio, which we knew about before the S even was officially announced by Microsoft.
Oh yeah.
You want to drop another $5? You're gonna drop it. You already bought 3 systems.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts.
I'm a fool. Don't do this. If you already own an Xbox or an Xbox S, you don't have a 4K TV, there's absolutely no reason for you to buy this. The same way I would say that there's no reason for you to buy the PS4 Pro. I love my Xbox S, but I also like the way it looks on my 4K TV versus my 1080p display that I have on my computer that I use. It's great. It's a lot smaller. It's a lot quieter, that's for sure. I like it. It looks nice. But at the end of the day, I feel like HDR aside, I could if I didn't ever know about HDR.
Oh, I do notice that. So I was wondering about this. So we do have people in chat, but for some reason, it wasn't appearing over here. We're gonna fix that really quick, guys. We're sorry. I was wondering why.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody showing up.
Yeah, and that's because it wasn't showing up. So I gotta pull up our this really quick.
Sorry,
Anyway,
folks.
you can
Technical
keep
difficulties.
you can keep talking while I fix this up quick.
Oh yeah, definitely. So HDR aside, like I really like the HDR on it, but if I'd have never known, I could have lived in in ignorance. There's no real reason to upgrade. I think like I said, I like it, but I can't recommend that if you already have an Xbox One, you should upgrade to an Xbox S. Maybe from Xbox One to Xbox X at some point, if that does end up becoming their new quote unquote console. But other than that, I don't know. I can't recommend any kind of upgrade. Like if you just bought an S, you're fine. You don't need to upgrade. You don't need to get an Xbox X. Even honestly, even if you have a 4K TV, some high end like Sony or Samsung, etc. I don't think that it's really worth the price. Wait till next year when the price drops at least $100. Then yeah, maybe. But right now, no.
See, for me, the main reason I don't care for the Xbox One X is because games.
Yeah, that
no
too.
Games I don't care about. Again, they announced 23 games, and just so I'm sorry, you guys, chat's fully working. How's it going, Jeffrey Guardado? My apologies if I butchered your name. I think I read it right. We'll now see the chat. So if you guys want to say anything, you're welcome to.
Oh yeah, definitely. We acknowledge you guys. Senpai noticed you.
No, okay. They announced 23 games.
Yeah.
And none of them were really exclusive. They're timed exclusives.
Oh yeah.
Which, yes, okay. Technically, there's a word exclusive in there, but they're coming to PlayStation anyway.
Oh yeah.
Or probably they're gonna come Xbox PC at the same time, PS4 a little after.
Or they were already on PC.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but right before Dragon Ball Z, did they put Xbox exclusive?
I don't think so. That's not going to be an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, because I didn't think it was going to be.
There's no way Bandai Namco would make that exclusive. They've got to announce it. If you played it on the floor, it was all on Xbox 360 controllers, or actually, sorry, Xbox One controllers.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, I completely agree. Yes, pretty good advice. X doesn't offer anything distinct other than the aspects. Yeah, which you brought up. But I love Dragon Ball. We're gonna get into that in a few minutes.
Definitely. Xbox X.
Yeah, no. I was when I saw that and fixing the chat, kind of brought me 1 second. But anyway, going back into it, the only true like Xbox One exclusive was Cuphead.
Mm-hmm.
And that finally has a release date. We're gonna see it
finally
very, very soon, and that's one game I will play.
Same.
What's kind of cool is they also announced a little after that there's going to be a vinyl released. I Am 8-Bit's going to release a 4-disc vinyl of all the music of Cuphead.
Oh yeah.
Which they also previously announced Persona 5.
Did they?
A Persona 5 vinyl soundtrack.
I'm gonna have to line up in front of their store.
You can order it online.
Oh, fantastic!
They have a 4 LP record, which is I think $100.
Okay.
Which includes selected tracks, and there's an 8 vinyl, which I think is like $175, and includes the whole soundtrack.
This is why I don't pay my bills.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting those too. The Persona 5 one's one I had to get. So let's see. We had Cuphead. They announced. Do you remember what they announced specifically? Dragon Ball. They've announced a few others. Anthem.
Mm-hmm. It was Tacoma.
Tacoma?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that one.
There was also some
Crackdown 3.
Crackdown
with Terry Crews.
Terry Crews, yeah. You know what? That was funny, but I couldn't get myself hyped for that game. I don't know what it was. I
didn't get myself hyped for it. The one thing is, if they do that game, it needs Terry Crews all over it.
Oh yeah, of course. Like he needs to be VOing someone. Anyone, or have him be a narrator of some sort, something. Just please, if you're gonna have Terry Crews, do not do what you did for Quantum Break, where all of these cutscenes, they're about a half hour to an hour long, and they have to be streamed because they're not on the disc. That drove me nuts. Like I was playing that game, and for the most part, I was semi enjoying it. It's not a terrible game. It's definitely their infamous Second Son, but I don't know. It's just I wasn't a fan of having to watch a video buffer on my Xbox, knowing it wasn't my connection speed.
Anyway, if they do Terry Crews, I want one of two Terry Crews in there. I want which one was it? His Power.
Old Spice Terry
Old
Crews?
Spice one.
Old Spice Terry
I
Crews?
want that Old Spice, or I want the one from I can't remember the name of that movie. The one made by Matt Judd.
Matt Judd?
Yeah, the guy that made Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill. He made a movie. Lewis, do you remember the name of that movie made by Matt Judge featuring Terry Crews? It was Stupid America or something like that.
Looking it up.
I can't remember.
I can't remember it. I love that version of Terry Crews where he was president of the world. And he
so
was
now I have to go home and find it and watch it.
he's looking for it right now. Idiocracy. Thank you.
Okay.
The name of that movie is Idiocracy. I would love to see that Terry Crews. If you've never seen Idiocracy, watch that. It's a really funny movie, and does remind me of Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. So then they didn't have any really big announcements that I thought. They showed some great games.
Yeah.
All upgraded thanks to the power of the Xbox One X.
Oh, yeah. You know, and here's the thing. Like I said, I'm a huge Forza guy. I could not get myself excited for this Forza, and this coming from a guy who buys all the Forzas.
Xbox has like their equivalent of Gran Turismo.
Yeah, and
it looks really amazing. I love a lot of the stuff they have for it. But what are they doing now? It's like they're not focusing on their exclusive titles anymore. I just don't mean them in store, like in-house, just overall.
Yeah.
We haven't seen much from them. They did a great job of that during the Xbox and Xbox 360 days. And now in the Xbox One, it's just like, what's going on? Are you just focusing on, for me, I think they're almost out of consoles. Like they're about to phase out of consoles.
I feel like they're going to turn into a service, like a streaming service on another platform.
That's what I'm exactly expecting.
Yeah, and it kind of makes me sad because as a console, I like my Xbox S.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good console. I like the control; it's great. I personally like their multiplayer infrastructure. I prefer it over PlayStation 4. I know. I'm like the only person on the planet who says that.
They need to fix their UI though.
Yeah,
interface is just terrible.
Yeah, I hate that faux Windows 10 stuff. It's really disgusting.
With all the ads.
Yeah, with all the like I'll turn on my Xbox One and my joystick will be somewhere on accident, highlighted on a window, and then bam, I just get this super loud ad. I'm like, oh god, no, move.
Plants like electrolytes. I just wanted to say that right now.
Yeah.
But so we'll move on. Now, Sony, I think, did a lot better than Xbox. Xbox, like, they didn't even talk.
No.
They had the introduction, and then it was just trailer all the way through. Xbox had their people talking, and it was okay.
Yeah.
But Xbox One X was about the only thing they had going for them, other than showing off those trailers. But they didn't tell us what was console exclusive.
Oh yeah.
Sony started off pretty strong. Well, I won't say they started off pretty strong, but I like how they started off with the Uncharted 4 trailer and the DLC. Xbox chief said that they didn't want to announce any Xbox exclusive games at E3 that were 3 years off, since we're indeed coming. Which there was no full exclusives.
Oh yeah, and I think that 3 years off is a little too late.
Yeah,
they need stuff now, not 3 years from now. Oh god.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. We had the Uncharted. I love that they showed off more God of War.
Yeah.
Which was announced back at PSX, or actually that's Last of Us 2. When they showed off more at PSX and everything in last year, it looked like Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Or Last of Us. It had that kind of style. And then when you see this trailer, it looked a lot different.
Oh yeah.
It still has those elements, but the fighting scenes look a lot better. What do you remember from PlayStation? Like anything else?
Anything else? Well,
I know we got Detroit.
God of War. Oh, I remember Detroit. We got the DLC expansion for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Mm-hmm. Now you get to play nice.
Yeah, now you get to play nice. I also remember your favorite one, Final Fantasy 15, Monsters of the Deep, the fishing game.
Oh yes, VR.
VR.
I was getting into the VR a little later, but yes, for me, when I saw that, I was just like, what happened to episode Prompto? Wasn't there supposed to be
an FPS?
A VR Prompto episode and everything?
Yeah.
I was like, that looks cool, and then I see fishing. And I was just like, hashtag Moogle bait. Hashtag Chocobo.
Oh
Babe.
yeah.
It's like, ugh. But let's see. There's one I was really excited for. Obviously, I'm gonna save the last one for last
Of course.
because that
I think
was
it's
just
a big
little
one.
Monster Hunter World.
Yeah. When
That
I saw
one-
that, I was
That one just surprised me. I just saw that. I was like, that can't be Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I remember reading that Capcom had gotten a patent for Monster Hunter World, but I honestly thought that was going to be like a Switch title.
I thought that was gonna be what they were gonna name like the 3DS title. Or something.
Yeah, like XX.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I see it and I'm like,
But
no way.
The other thing was a few days before, they also announced that they had no plans to port the Switch version to me
Yeah.
because I mean I know Monster Hunter is great here in the U.S. as it is in Japan, but it still has a huge following.
It definitely prints, money for 3DSs.
Yeah, and then now it's going. I guess the reason is because it's going to be a PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC title.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Monster Hunter on a Sony console since 2011.
PSP, I think it was United.
Yeah, it was United. And I think having Monster Hunter World as your first Monster Hunter on Xbox is great because it's not a numbered title.
Yeah.
It's fresh. It's something new. You can just kind of start from there and build. So from a marketing standpoint, it's genius.
Yeah. And then there's a few other titles, nothing like super impressive that left a lasting impression other than the final title,
Oh, yeah.
which was another look at the Amazing Spider-Man, which we got to see last year.
Yeah.
And that game looks amazing.
Oh, my gosh. Sony Spider-Man gave me the same...
Insomniac Spider-Man, you mean, but still.
Yeah. Or Marvel. Sorry, Marvel Spider-Man. I think it's officially called Marvel.
It's Marvel Spider-Man.
Yeah, and I haven't... The moment I saw that, I immediately felt the same way I felt when I first played Spider-Man 2, the movie game. I was like, oh my gosh, Spider-Man's back. I'm going to have so much fun playing a Spider-Man game. And it actually looks like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like an Arkham clone.
And here's actually one. We had this chat with somebody in line, too.
At Sega, yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, so what do you think of the new Batman game? And I was like, what Batman game? It was like the one Sony showed off. It's like, you mean Spider-Man? He's like, well, they just ripped off Batman Arkham series. And I was like, you realize the Batman series actually borrowed, I'm not going to say ripped off, but borrowed the same kind of style that Spider-Man 2 for the PS1 had.
Exactly.
He's like, no, they didn't. They did not copy it. They did not rip it off. They just improved it. So improving it is the same concept idea.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, well, they made it better. And I was like, and they added stealth to it and everything. I was like, so they ripped off Metal Gear.
Yeah.
What are you saying? They did not rip off anything. And I was just like, okay, you know what?
I'm done.
It's cool. If you think it is because you don't want to play anything else, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I hope you guys liked my terrible impression. But that's almost what the guy sounded like.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, he had a very Bane without the mask sound.
Yes, do you understand what Batman is? The guy did sound like Bane.
Yeah, he did, yeah. They're like, they're just ripping off Batman.
I will break you, Batman.
Oh,
so,
man.
I got to see that on the show floor.
Yeah.
Because they had the theater section.
Yeah, same.
So you actually went in?
Yeah.
So they showed off a different way to play the game.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, something I totally forgot to ask. Actually, not that I forgot to mention. At the end of the trailer, you see Miles Morales.
Yeah.
So that means we might see 2 Spider-Mans playable.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Hopefully, we'll see more on that very, very soon because it's coming out next year. Huzzah! And that's one game I'm definitely going to get.
Same. Day one.
And the funny thing is, you know who the voice actor for Spider-Man is, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very little.
Yeah, I was just like, oh.
The moment I heard him make an injury sound, I'm like, oh, that's Yosuke.
Yeah. I'm like, it's Sasuke.
Oh, yeah.
Naruto. One day I hope to get into voice acting.
Yeah, you're already doing really good with your Bane impression.
Oh, thank you very much. So now let's go into games. You wanted to pull up your list of
Yes.
things we wanted to talk about?
Oh yeah. Although first of all, before we go into games, I definitely wanted to talk about the Sony app at E3.
Okay, well, what are your thoughts? Because this is actually the first time I got to use it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hated it. I hated it so much. And I remember I had an appointment for Uncharted, and it didn't work. And when I got there,
It didn't work?
no, it didn't work. Like I got an appointment, and then it wouldn't load to show that I had an appointment.
No.
And so at that point, they were just letting anyone in. And so I'm just like, well, if you're just gonna let anyone in, why even bother having appointments? You know, I did the same thing with Spider-Man. I was just like, hey, I don't have an appointment. Oh, that's fine, just come in. The app isn't working anyway. And I'm just like, okay.
It probably had a crash.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say to Cesar Ortega is we probably will learn more, and that will be at the PlayStation Experience this year, and that should be, I think, November, December, more than likely December again this year.
Yeah.
Since this year it's back in Anaheim.
Yeah.
Since last year it was back in San Francisco, so it's alternating between those 2 years, which we'll see more than hopefully even a release date.
That'd be great.
But anyway, as we were talking about the app, you might say it has issues, but it's a lot better than waiting in line. They've been using that for 3 years now.
Yeah.
At E3 PlayStation Experience, you download the app. It lets you. I didn't have that problem either, actually, Jeffrey. But it saves you so much time. You already choose when you're going to the theater. You can go around, walk around, play some games. You know what time it's going. I guess at one point it just crashed.
Yeah, and my experience with it at PlayStation Experience was much better. I feel like maybe it might have just been the fact that there weren't that many people.
There were 65,000 people at E3.
Yeah, and I think it's because the lack of bodies at PlayStation Experience. But at E3, when I went to make an appointment, I remember when I did Uncharted, I pressed the button, then the load screen happened, and I was stuck in that load screen for 3 minutes, and then it finally said, "You're accepted" to like the 4:30 appointment, and I hadn't even signed up to the 4:30. I signed up to like the 2:50, and I'm like, well, I mean, at least I'm in, sure. I hope I don't have any meetings, between now and then.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into our main topic. If you guys have any questions, you're welcome to ask. But I do want to bring up one thing that Lewis actually wanted to talk about, and it's something that I almost forgot about, and that is this year's E3. So let's first talk about 65,000 people compared to last year's. I think it was like 50,000 people.
Yeah.
So adding extra 15,000 people, how they did it wasn't great.
No.
It's always been packed at E3, and I have no problem with we're gonna call them exactly what the name they were given, green badges.
Yeah, same green badges.
They were giving the name green badge. It was just consumers. It's cool to bring in more people to this.
Yeah, definitely.
Regular people have always found a way in. Microsoft has their events, the Microsoft fan events. Nintendo's giving them away. Sony gives them away. Even video game companies give them away.
Yeah,
that's cool. And I have no problem with them adding extra people. It's just ESA made that decision and did not think about how it should have been done.
Yeah.
So that led into what? Even longer than wait lines.
Yeah.
Mario, people who want to play Mario Odyssey spent like all day in line.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
They spent hours, like 5+ hours, I heard. Lines were capped out really quick. And the thing is, this isn't made. Everybody has a grandeur of wanting to go to E3.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I wanted to go.
Same.
I first went when I was 17.
Lucky you.
I had friends. They helped me in. I've gone in as an exhibitor. I've gone in as industry, and for the last almost 7 years, I've gone in as press. So I've gone in. The only thing I've been able to do a little bit of everything, and I kind of see how different ways work. Now, when everybody has that dream, and everybody was disappointed this year.
Oh yeah,
because one, there wasn't as much swag.
No, not at all. And
everybody sees those posts of, oh my God, look at that swag those people have gotten.
Oh yeah,
because you just see influencers and YouTubers going, well, I've got this shirt, I've got this hat, I've gotten this and this and this.
Pin set, yeah.
Nintendo gave me this, or they saw last year's like
Morgana
Zelda
hat.
coin, Morgana hat, and all that stuff.
You know what? And
everybody got pissed off. There's a Reddit post that's literally one guy who's like, I spent $250 to go to E3,
for free stuff and
and it was a horrible experience.
oh yeah, and it's funny because you and I were talking about that. Where it's like, I bet they're gonna have a lot of shops. And the moment we walk into the West Hall, the first thing we see is a Natsume shop.
Yeah.
Oh no, not Natsume, an Exceed shop.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, we were spot on. We were right on the money. And
I knew it was coming. I
yeah.
already had some people telling me some places were going to be opening a shop because they're already spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to millions of dollars on a booth and setup, and they need to make some of that money back. So they're gonna have consumers. They already do it in place. They do it at other events. But let's put a shop. Let's take all the stuff that we have in our storage unit and sell it and make some money back. I don't blame them, but it also meant with 15,000 extra people that we're probably going to put it on eBay and stuff. We're just going to not do as many freebies and sell some stuff. Some booths still give out a bunch of freebies.
Oh yeah, I think for my money, the standouts were Microsoft and Nintendo. Microsoft had a collection of pins.
Oh, you know what I feel pretty bad about? We were talking about the big three and we totally forgot the big one.
Oh, Nintendo. Yeah.
Oh man, that's what happens when I don't have a list in front of me.
Now that we're gonna go into a Nintendo, we can do that as a lead-in.
Yeah, I'll leave that into Nintendo, and I'm just gonna say Nintendo was the best one.
I agree. I completely agree. And it's funny because I went into the conferences and I was thinking, you know what?
But let me finish what I was gonna say about.
Sure.
One of the biggest issues with having 65,000 people this year was security.
Oh yeah.
Security was terrible. I do another podcast. You guys can see the Play and Talk podcast on my other website, nerdreactor.com. And we were talking about just security was absolutely atrocious. Normally, when you go into E3, there's a security guards there. They check your bags, make sure you're not bringing anything. I wasn't expecting them to check IDs this year. Last few years, they've been checking IDs because people badge pass. And actually, the vile one's Jeffrey. Jeffrey's watching the podcast right now. How's it going, bro? Yeah, thought you wanted to say something.
They were checking badges.
No, but they weren't checking IDs.
They were. This is Lewis, by the way. This is my section on Thursday. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. On Thursday, I'm working behind the scenes right now, chatting on the YouTube.
He's handling the chat.
And, and sweating my butt off here.
Oh, yeah, I'm sweating too. It's warm in here.
And I don't look good, so I'm behind the camera. I let the handsome guys take care of the E3 discussion. But, on the Thursday, the security guard was indeed randomly checking IDs to match the badges on the sides, on the outskirts, which I didn't see. I thought they just stopped doing that, but they were doing
it. That's cool. That's smart they did, but they weren't checking bags when you went in, right?
No. Bags, no. Badges, yeah. I've been again, maybe they were in random areas. I know that when I was doing a few Disney events the same week, they brought in dogs to check out the entire area. There's probably a lot of behind the scenes things going on.
But just for the whole beginning, I kept walking in and out.
Yeah.
Same.
No bag checks, and I'm just like, anything could have happened. Anybody could have brought something in. We would have known there's 65,000 people there. Mm-hmm. They didn't do much. And then there was also an interesting story that I heard, which you can actually find on Reddit too. There was a guy, you know how they were giving away those PDP pixel bags, right?
Yeah.
There was a guy who walked in without an E3 badge, saw that he could grab a whole bunch of bags, grabbed all of them, and ran out. And he took all the bags, which was just funny.
Yeah. And here's the thing is that, I mean, in a post London bombings world, so close to E3, why were we not checked? I went in, they had dogs and they were just walking around the outside of E3, and I never once got bag checked. I got ID checked once, only once, well, twice. Anytime that we went into like a media, like they always checked IDs.
Well, the media rooms they check, which was funny.
Yeah,
they always do that. But that's also because you have the food there and the free drinks.
Exactly.
They don't want the norms having that stuff.
Yeah, no normies. But the one time that they checked my ID was when I went into South Hall the very first time, and then after that, it never happened. It never happened. Like, they checked badges, sure, but they never checked ID. I never once got my bag checked. I remember last year I couldn't bring any food, and this year I had my lunch in my bag, and no one ever checked me.
Yeah, I went in with my backpack fully, and had my camera equipment and everything, but they didn't know.
Yeah, like we had snacks.
Okay, so now we can get to Nintendo. The one thing that we didn't do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They were the best in my opinion.
Same. I completely agree.
I got my ass kicked on the Nintendo line. Just wanted to say that.
Oh
It's
yeah.
another reason I'm not on camera. I have a black eye. Just kidding. We were in line really early,
Just kidding. He has two.
Lisa and I, and the line was just a blob. There was no organization as far as the line's concerned. We wanted to hit the Nintendo booth. Obviously, to me, in my opinion, that was a beautiful booth. It looked like
yeah.
Disneyland. Yeah, I was inside Nintendo World, so we wanted to line up. We woke up real early. You know, we lined up. The line was terrible. It was just a blob. They opened and everybody was running, pushing. And the sad part of that though was that the security guards were pushing people. People undercover. And you know, if I was a hothead, if I was younger, I would have punched one of those guys. But I kept my composure, you know, and I think they caused a little bit of it. But there was no organization for that line.
Well, yeah,
on
industry
Thursday.
and media already kind of know how to react to everything. But when then you've got 15,000 extra people that are just hungry to play these games, hungry for all the freebies, they're just doing that. It's kind of like a Black Friday kind of thing.
They were physically pushing people. So on a higher note, though, we just said, the hell with it. Walked over to the PlayStation and played Detroit, the new robot game. Love that game, but you guys talk about that later. I'm out.
All right, so now we can talk about Nintendo, and that to me again was the best one.
I agree.
Obviously, they just had so many announcements. The biggest announcement was Metroid Prime 4.
I agree.
Which we probably won't see for a year or two.
No.
But at least they announced, well, hey guys, it's happening.
Yeah.
They showed off a couple games. Anything that caught your eye or like really got your attention?
Yeah, actually, a couple of things. For one, I really liked the Kirby game.
Yes.
That looked really good.
It looks like a return to a Superstar.
Yeah, and you know what? That's exactly how I felt. When I saw that, I was like, this feels like Superstar 3.
Yeah.
Or 2, I guess. Yeah, this feels like Superstar 2. It was really, really, really good. I actually liked the Yoshi Woolly World game. I know.
It was okay. I'm more of an island fan, but anyway.
You know, and so that looked really, really good to me. Obviously, Xenoblade, even though
and it comes out this year,
November.
Which was a surprise.
Yeah, you know, and if I was a betting man, I'd have lost all my money because I figured they were going to push it back to February or something.
Probably. Something Jeffrey said, and I do agree, is no Smash for Switch.
Yeah, and then did you see what Reggie had said right after E3, where he's like, "Well, we're not in the business of just porting everything."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but you know, you already announced you're porting Pokemon.
Yeah.
Which they even before E3 they announced, okay, guys, well now we're doing Gold and Silver, which already was released on DS.
Exactly.
And that's a rare, like, if the fighting those are kind of expensive right now.
Oh yeah, especially
Pokemon
the walkers. Yeah.
Pokemon, what was it? Pokemon Coliseum? Well, not Coliseum. Sorry, Pokken Tournament DX,
Tournament.
And then
Mario Kart.
Huh?
Mario Kart.
Yeah, I know. But they're doing all that, and it's just like,
why don't you go the extra step?
Yeah, I know. People wanted to see Smash Brothers because you know the tournament scene's still there, and having it on the Switch is a good idea.
Yeah.
The one thing that I was really disappointed that Nintendo didn't announce was the virtual console.
Yeah.
They needed that. They need the GameCube stuff. They need all that stuff.
Anything, you know, and it sucks because they're just not talking about it. And I remember when they announced their NES streaming service, Netflix, I guess. They said we have nothing more to talk about as far as virtual console. And I'm like, what do you mean you have nothing more to talk about? That I think would be a great selling point for your console.
It needs to be.
It needs to be,
especially if you're going to charge us for service.
Exactly. You know,
it gives us some extra to look forward to.
Yeah, you know, I was looking forward to it, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But one thing and this is just like a pipe dream, but I really wanted Tokyo Mirage.
I don't want Tokyo Mirage. It should not be ported. It didn't do so well that Atlas did all the work.
Yeah.
Atlas doesn't want to do more work if it didn't do that well.
Yeah.
Let them focus on the next SMT game.
Yeah. Or anything else that they do.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like Xenoblade. I personally didn't like the voice acting. That's just me, or maybe this is the choice of lines. But for me, my standout was Mario Odyssey.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to. Did you see the Treehouse afterwards?
No.
They announced.
I can never watch that. It's so dry for me.
They announced Metroid Prime, Metroid 2.
Yeah, that I
It's
saw.
coming to the 3DS.
And I'm actually kind of, that'll make me dust off my 3DS. This is just me, but I kind of feel like once, and maybe it's because Nintendo has conditioned me to feel this way, because every time that they've released a new console, they've just kind of never looked in the rear view. When they released the Wii U, we didn't really get anything on the Wii. When they released GameCube, we didn't, GameCube, we didn't really get anything on the N64, and same thing with GameCube to Wii and all that stuff. So the only real reason I would still play my 3DS is for RPG Maker, which comes out this month. But after I saw Metroid, I was like, oh, cool, something to play.
Oh no, there's still plenty of reasons to play 3DS, and that's going to be, let's see, Cordycep's coming to 3DS from NICE America.
I'm pretty excited about Radiant Historia.
Radiant Historia is coming from Atlas. SMT, trying to remember which SMT. Strange Journey is coming, and they're also doing Etrian Odyssey 5.
Yeah.
So it's still not dead, and I think Nintendo said they plan on supporting it
till 2018,
till the end of 2018 or so. And I still love my 3DS. I just still have so many games I need to play on it.
Same, but my thing is that I kind of want to just move on to Switch.
And plus, you get Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon.
I personally am one of the few people on the planet that wasn't a fan of Sun and Moon. I couldn't get through it.
I was fine with Sun and Moon. I just don't want an Ultra. I wouldn't mind if they just did Stars on the Switch.
Exactly.
Which is something we've done. But they did announce and made me happy a core Pokemon RPG game coming to the Switch.
Yeah, I was really excited about that. I hope it's more than just Stars. I mean,
no, it's hopefully it's going to be, if it's called Stars, it's what Pokemon Gale of Darkness was.
Yeah,
something like that. That's what I really want to see. But Nintendo did it. I think Nintendo did a good job only because it had more games that they were showing off that are coming this year. Where Sony was showing off games that were a few games that are coming out this year, most of them coming out last year.
See, I think Jeffrey asked, would have been nice to have seen.
He didn't ask. He just wanted to say.
Oh, I wanted to say. Would have been nice to see some Donkey Kong Country on Switch, perhaps.
There's a lot of things we want to see on Switch.
Of course.
Just will Nintendo do it.
A good Star Fox game.
That's up to Miyamoto at that point.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now let's talk about games.
Yes.
What are some games? Well, actually, what do you have next on?
So let's talk about our top 5 of E3. Things that you saw, things that you played, maybe. So we'll start with, you want me to start?
You start.
Okay. For me, my top 5, no particular order, just the things I played at E3. Mario Odyssey. I really, really liked it.
You got to play both demos, right?
I got to play both demos. I enjoyed both demos.
Hold on. Just for those who don't know, talk about the 2 demos.
Sure. The first demo was a city level. It was New Donk City.
Mm-hmm.
It was very open world. It very much
this is what you've seen in trailers.
Yeah.
This is what you've seen in the commercials. This is Palutena, who hasn't really appeared too much.
Oh no, sorry, Pauline.
Sorry, Palutena. Yeah. The wrong game, Kid Icarus. Paulina, who obviously was the girl you had to save in the original Donkey Kong game.
And now she's the mayor of the city.
And now she's the mayor of the city, the singing mayor of the city.
Yeah.
And it's just like a hip jiving city.
Yeah, there's like it's so funny that you say that because the main objective is to get a bunch of musicians for a festival. But this very much felt like Grand Theft Auto Mario. I remember one thing that I got to see is Mario riding a scooter around. And you just jump on a scooter and just ride it around like it's GTA.
And then the second stage was a desert stage.
Yeah, it was. Which I thought had a lot of really cool things. It was very like a Mexican feel to it with the little sombrero guys and the stores.
That's just racist. That's just racist.
It is racist.
Yeah,
it's all right though. I'm not so offended.
Yeah, each one was like about what, 15 minutes?
About 10
minutes, and they cut off.
And then cut off. Although the desert level had a really cool 8-bit transition.
Yep,
that was
really
fantastic.
Cool. And the video is going to be uploaded very soon.
Yes, it is.
On which page are we doing, on the Nuclear Fridge or the Nerd Report page?
Nerd Report YouTube channel, but it's going up on all our websites, baby.
There you go. So that should be up very soon. That'll be both versions, right?
Yeah, I have both versions. I like being able to buy different suits.
Yeah, you're actually able to buy not just suits, but you buy different accessories.
Yeah.
You get to switch into them, wear them, and all that stuff. But the one thing that we really learned about Mario Odyssey is what Cappy can do.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you saw the trailer, you saw it starting with a giant dinosaur with a Mario hat.
Oh, yeah.
And that's Mario being able to very weirdly
Possess people.
possess things.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. And that was my favorite thing. That was also probably the most played thing in E3, where everybody was
yes.
waiting in line for it.
Oh yeah.
Next.
Next for me was Dragon Ball Z, or
Mhm.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yep.
That was really, really good. I'm personally not a huge fan of System Artworks.
Arc System.
Arc System Works. But this got me really hyped, and it made me feel the same way that I felt playing the Butoden games on the Super Nintendo that we never got. Budokai and like Supersonic Warriors. I really like that a lot. At a very fast-paced, very smooth feel.
Okay. Next.
Next for me would probably be Sonic Forces. I felt like Sonic Forces was really, really good. I played 2 demos. I know you played 3, so I'll start with my 2. I played the classic one. Classic was really, really, really good. Felt very similar to Generations. It's a sequel, no?
Nah, I don't know if it's a sequel, but we'll find out. It's
Yeah.
I don't know.
It feels related.
Story-wise, yeah, it does.
That was really good. Good modern Sonic. That was really good. That felt really nice. I hadn't felt that good about a modern Sonic playthrough since Generations. I'm really, really hyped for that. You got to play the Avatar stage. How was that?
I'll talk about when I go to my 5.
Okay, sure. Sonic Mania was also another really, really good one. I like Sonic Mania a lot. Very much felt like Sonic the Hedgehog 5, I guess, or at least what a Sonic the Hedgehog 5 would feel like. And this is number 5, yes? My final one?
Yeah, this is number 5.
My final pick, I would have to say, trying to think. I guess it would have to be Gundam. Gundam was a lot of fun.
Oh, you played the 3v3 Gundam?
That was fun. That was really, really good.
Okay, well, we'll have to go with my 5.
Sure.
Number 1 will be Mario Odyssey also. I only got to do the sand stage.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of fun. I actually got to do, I don't know what those creatures are called, but when you put on the sunglasses, you actually find different parts of the stage.
Yeah.
And I did love the 8-bit part, the transition, which was really cool. And I really liked that. I didn't see it until your video, that even if you change outfits in 8-bit part, Mario wears that suit.
Yeah, he does.
Which was kind of cool. Number 2 will have to be, out of everything I played, it's kind of hard because so many were so good. I really enjoyed Fire Emblem Warriors.
Oh, you got to play that?
I got to play that over the Nintendo booth. It was in the far corner, and it gave you Chrom, Marth, female Corrin, and it showed you the new characters. And if you played Hyrule Warriors or any Dire Dynasty Warriors, you're familiar with the system. But the really cool part that they added to this one was the partner system. So if one of your partners is next to you, you can actually team up with them, and then it'll allow you to do double team combos. The more you're actually partnered with them, your relationship grows. So that'll be interesting how that plays out, because it'll do what like Awakening did over that. So who knows? Maybe you'll be able to get married too.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Sonic Mania probably would be my number 3 because I love the old 8-bits. I really love how they actually remixed a lot of the stages, but they did it in a way that it feels fresh and new. And then they added new stages. I got to do both stages, which I'm uploading the video on my personal YouTube page and our Chris very soon. That was really cool. I did the first stage as Knuckles, and I did the second stage as Sonic. What's really cool is in the second stage, there was a lot of nods to the old Sonic games, which is really cool. So you'll see characters you haven't seen in a long time in the form of a poster. That's number 3. Number 4 would have to be Amazing Spider-Man. I didn't get to play it, but I really want to play it. Number 5 is a tie for me between Ni no Kuni 2 and Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I love Arc System Works. I love the Guilty Gear. I love the BlazBlue system. This has a little bit of that, where the fact is it's fast-paced. It looks beautiful. You don't know what the hell's going on. The combos are just insane because they won't stop. I just want to see what they're going to do with it down the line. And that's supposed to come out early next year. So I'm going to be probably playing that. And this will probably be the second Bandai Namco game that will be featured in like the main tournament scene.
Yeah.
Because the other one is Tekken 7.
Yeah.
Ni no Kuni 2. If you love Studio Ghibli, this is made by people who previously worked at Studio Ghibli. Level 5 is known for like amazing games.
Of
Rogue
course.
Galaxy, they made the first Ni no Kuni, Professor Layton, all
Yeah.
that stuff. They do some great quality work, and Ni no Kuni 2 is a very different game compared to the first one. It still retains a lot of the qualities, but instead of Pokemon monster capturing, you get partners and these little weird Pikmin-looking creatures. I forgot the names off the top of my head.
I think
But
I
they're
might
pretty
actually
cool.
have it if you want me to go through that.
No, that's cool. We can move on because we don't want to drag this first podcast on too long.
Oh, yeah.
What's we got next?
5 games you're a little disappointed in, or maybe didn't jive with you.
Yeah, there's some games that didn't jive with me. I would say Underwhelmed would probably be a better word.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'll start with this one. Let's see. Games that underwhelmed me. Well, I'm just going to say I like Sonic Forces, but the Avatar was underwhelming. I love the modern Sonic. I love the classic Sonic. Those played great. Generations, like you mentioned, so much fun to play. But the Avatar, I feel it doesn't need to be in there. At that point, it's just some random character who changes the dynamic of the game. First 2 games are more about speed, a little bit of action, and then you get a platformer, so to speak. To me, it was just like, I can kind of go without this, but I know I'm going to have to play it because I love Sonic games and I'll play them all, but I know that's probably going to be, unless they do something to really change it, it leaves me a bit underwhelmed. Game number, actually, let's go back to forth
Sure.
for this one.
For me, maybe it's just because I really, really sucked at this. But it was Dissidia on PS4.
It's because you really, really suck.
It's because I really sucked at it. I want to play it more, but initially it didn't grip me too much. It was okay. It's just too much airtime. I think I would get hit and I'd spend a lot of time in the air and I'd press circle to recover, and my character Zidane would just stay there. Or I'd
because you were Zidane. Everybody wanted to beat him up.
Oh, hey,
I want to beat
I
him
love
up.
Zidane. 9 is the best one.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Your match, I think, lasted about a minute.
Yeah.
Mine lasted about like 30 seconds.
Yeah, like 20 seconds.
I already got the video uploaded on my YouTube page where I just
Watch his
slaughtered.
video. Don't watch mine. Mine's garbage.
Yeah, you were gonna get squad and destroyed. Number the next for me, I should say. I'm not gonna go by order because there was really nothing that really was bad for me. Just again underwhelming.
Yeah, same.
And I did play the test they had, but ARMS. For me, ARMS it's an okay game. Something I feel should have been more of a pack-in game
Yeah.
because I'm really not going to spend $50-$60 on it.
No.
It's okay, cool. I can play using the vibration motions. I love that. I love that the Switch has that. But again, I'm not spending the money on that game.
Yeah, and you know what? That's actually my second one, ARMS. I remember when I went to an event for Nerd Reactor during the launch of the Switch. I got to play it there, and it was very rough. And I was like, you know what? Because I'm a huge fan of Punch-Out, especially the Punch-Out on the Wii. So I was like, you know what? This looks fantastic. It looks like a way more fast-paced Punch-Out. So I played the game, and I came back underwhelmed, and I was like, you know what? It's an early build. Who knows? Maybe, the final build will be very different, or it'll play a lot more.
Yeah.
So I go to E3 and I play it, and I was like, they fixed absolutely nothing. It still felt clunky. It still felt very, unresponsive from time to time. It felt like it shared more with Wii Sports Boxing than it did with Punch-Out Wii. They didn't have any demos for the Pro Control, and everyone I talked to was like, "Oh, well, you play on the Pro Control." Like, yeah, I know that, but if I can't, if I didn't have a chance to play on the Pro Control, I don't have that experience. I was busy during the test fires, so I didn't get to try that. And I honestly, I'm just not willing to drop $60 on a maybe, or maybe I'll like this. So yeah, that's gonna be a pass for me. Maybe down the line if it's like $20, but it's a Nintendo title, those never drop price. So.
Certain ones do though. Number 3, oh, actually, next for me would be Marvel's Capcom Infinite.
Okay.
I had so much high hopes for this game, and at this moment, I'm underwhelmed. I didn't get to put as much time as I wanted to in the game. Those lines were about an hour and a half, 2 hours just to play the multiplayer demo. And I'm not a fan of how they've pretty much recycled Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3. A lot of those characters are recycled. X-Men characters are gone, which is really a disappointment. It just, right now, it needs something to save it for me. Like, oh man, just not a fan. I love how some of the things can work, but if the Capcom really wants to make this last, it needs certain changes, and I need to think about some of what those changes could be. But you know, I like how X and Zero both in the game. I've been wanting X in the game for a long time. We haven't gotten that. For you?
For me, my number 3 spot is Forza Motorsport 7.
Oh my God, the Forza boy doesn't like Forza 7?
Yeah, right. I really like Forza. Forza is, you know, again, the main reason I even bought an Xbox One. But I played 6 last 2 years ago. Loved it. It was really good. I played 7, and a part of me kind of knew I was not going to be as impressed, and I kind of wasn't. And yeah, the weather effects are a little more dynamic, and that's cool. The mechanics are, you know, a little better. You know, better tire grip. You know, it's more responsive. But it wasn't so different that I feel like I need to plop down $60 for this. Like on a Black Friday, so if it's like $30, yeah, sure, I'll pick it up, especially since I'm getting the Xbox X, so I can check it out and see what it's like in 4K. But on release date, unless they have a really nice steelbook, I can't see myself plopping down money for that. And it's just, it feels like Microsoft's Madden, where they're just changing little things, and nothing new has been improved. Like, it would have been nice to see different types of weather, like snow or a lot of wind, something else to kind of change up the gameplay. So what's your next one?
Xbox One X.
Xbox One X.
You know, okay, I like what they're doing with it, but at the same time, I'm not a fan of the way they're doing it. I don't know who's in charge of the marketing, but one, you're not showing off any games that are making you want to buy the Xbox One X. Everything is still what's coming out, what you know, and beforehand. You know, $500 is a great price tag, but you didn't give me any real reason to want the system. We don't know anything huge about it. Like, it's going to be 500 starting.
Yeah.
That's the one thing people always forget. 500 starting. And that's going to be maybe a 250, 500. Then if you want a terabyte, it's going to be 600.
Oh no, the 500 is going to be a terabyte, which means that the next one up might be like 1.5 or 2 terabytes perhaps.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see that part. But at the same time, just like, do you see a game that gives you a reason to want to jump to Xbox One X right now?
Yeah, I don't, honestly. I mean, I'm
You're getting it. I know that. But
I'm getting it because I have games that they showed. They're, you know, gonna have, you know, the updates to 4K. You know, like Forza. I have Doom.
You mean like how we've seen PS4 Pro? Oh wait, like every time you go
the super sampling. Yeah, exactly. You know, or like all the updates that brought it to 4K 60 frames, and that's great and all. But again, something that's going to really sell the system game-wise, yeah, there really was nothing, you know. And again, coming from a Forza guy, even that couldn't sell me.
Okay, next for you. Last, this is 5, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, this is just, maybe I'm just really burnt out on this genre, but Days Gone.
The whole zombie thing?
Yeah, I'm just done with zombies. Sony's already going to have 2 zombie games coming out soon. You know, Last of Us 2 and Days Gone.
Don't forget, Konami's working on Metal Gear Survive.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
I actually played it.
How was that?
Actually wasn't that bad. If you don't think of it as a Metal Gear game.
It's like another Left 4 Dead.
It's another Left 4 Dead. And the only reason I can see why they use it is because they incorporated, like, you get to use the walker.
Oh, okay.
So, like, the whole kind of idea of the game is you're supposed to survive, where there's this one thing that I forgot what it's called. But if you let it live long enough, it'll bring you new supplies.
Okay, so it's like a horde mode.
Pretty much a horde mode.
Okay.
And then as that, you have traps set up. So you can set up like pits, you can set up fences, and you have to survive long enough.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like playing. What's the best way to win it? Just about every survival zombie game.
Yeah, like
Left 4 Dead
zombies.
and all that. And do that. Like you have ones that explode, and you can do all that stuff.
Yeah, and the thing about Days Gone for me, I think, is I like the fact that you can use the zombies to attack other people's villages, and that was really cool. That was a really cool mechanic where you can use them as like environmental effects to to affect the game, and that's great. But I'm just so burnt out on zombies at this point. I'm done. The two things that I'm over are futuristic military shooters and zombies. I think that we need to move past that.
Jeffrey, theater gameplay for which one? We just talked about so much that I don't remember which theater experience you're talking about. See, if I have to choose my last one, just because of the lack of what I've seen, nothing else really comes to my mind. That's all I can really think about at the moment, actually. For Days Gone. Okay, no, I didn't get to see Days Gone. I had so many appointments, so many meetings that I didn't get to do a lot of stuff. And then the games that I wanted to play, I didn't get to. Like, I really wanted to play South Park. Didn't get to touch that because the line was capped.
Yeah.
Wanted to do Assassin's Creed. Couldn't do that because the line was capped. A lot of the games that I didn't want to play, that I didn't have appointments for, I didn't get to see. But that's really just about it for now.
Let's see. Do you want to touch any more points?
No, I think those are the main points we really want to touch for this. We don't want to make our first episode too long. So, I don't know how many people are watching right now. What do we got, sir?
Several thousand.
Several thousand. I wish this was if we've done this long enough. But if you guys have any questions, we'll gladly answer them. If you don't have anything, we'll go ahead and call this a day, and that wrap up our first video podcast.
Subscribe and
Yeah,
don't forget to subscribe.
That'll be at the end. No, we don't have to say that now.
is this the end?
That's at the end.
Is this the end?
This could be the end because
Is it the end?
I have no idea.
This is
No,
the
it's at
end.
the end. At the
The
end.
only
I
end,
smell
my
encore.
friend. An encore? Nah. I smell I need fresh air. That's what I need.
Chris needs to get out of this room.
This is a pretty stuffy room, but it's, just so we don't have any outside noises so you guys can hear us clearly. Hopefully we'll have an air conditioning in here soon.
Patreon, baby.
Help us live through these podcasts by donating to our Patreon so we can get an air conditioning in here.
Yeah.
A mini fridge with cold drinks.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like doing podcasts
In winter, it's going to be nice in here.
Oh, it's gonna be.
yeah.
It'll be nice and chilly. It's summer and it's still pretty warm in here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Chris likes saunas, but I don't think he wants to do a podcast in a sauna.
I'll do a podcast in a sauna. Any thoughts on Crash? Actually, I've already gotten to play part of Crash 1 and Crash 3. I actually got to go to Activision offices and touch them, and it looks great. If you're a Crash fan, I've only seen one. I've only played through part 1, some of 1 and some of 3. It looks great. I think the team that's doing it is doing a great job with it. They've added to it, not taken away from it. They fixed the camera. Yeah, I'll look at the screen because they're writing. They're writing.
But they're looking at the screen.
Yeah, well, I got to look at the screen to see what they're saying. He's telling me to look at the camera, which I know I need to do, but I also need to look at the screen so I can see the questions. So how dare you, sir? How dare you? But overall, I'm looking forward to it. Comes out this month, so I'm going to definitely get it. You have seen anything on Crash?
Me, aside from the trailers, no.
The one thing I would say, if you want a really good laugh, look on YouTube, Sonic versus Crash E3. There's a video of the guy, whoever was in the Sonic outfit, and the guy in the Crash outfit dance off it.
No way.
It wasn't great, but it's pretty funny to see two guys in these stuffy suits trying to dance. So Sonic was just like...
Please tell me they were dancing on the Just Dance Ubisoft stage.
No, they were dancing in the main hall.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know where the Sonic jump was and the Crash?
Yeah.
It was right there.
Oh, man, I really wish you would have done the Sonic jump.
Oh, God, that thing was so terrible.
That would have been a great intro for our podcast.
Can I give my thoughts on E3 real quick?
No, we're done, guys.
Real
So
It's
quick,
over.
real
We're good.
quick one.
We're good.
you want to sit down and say
No,
it?
no, I don't want to say it. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can
I
hear
just
you.
want to say that I'm a casual gamer. I'm not really as hardcore as you guys. That's why I have you guys here. You guys know way more than me, but I always loved E3. It's actually used to be my favorite convention, or whatever you want to call it. But I feel like the magic is a little gone for some reason. It was just
the reason it's gone is because how the industry has changed.
Is that what it is?
Before it was just pure industry, pure press. Now you've got influencers coming in, and I love watching certain influencers, but a lot of them, they're only there to promote one or two games, but then they're everywhere for their videos and not their hits.
But you have a point, but you may have a point. And also, have we reached the point now where video games have done so much that nothing's really wowing anyone?
No.
For example, no?
I have to disagree with you.
Well, it's a question. I'm not saying this is an absolute. It's so much like in film.
Just know. The answer is no to everything.
In film, when we watch special effects, we're not impressed anymore. Because the CGI, it's like we've seen that already.
Yeah, it's why people get so excited when they see a Christopher Nolan film and it has very minimal
Correct.
CGI.
Yeah, I love Christopher Nolan.
But the thing is, that part becomes down to story and ideals.
That's right. So now, what I want to see next year is a VR of the original Mario Brothers, where we could actually go inside the game. Sounds stupid, but I would love
No,
to.
I think if Nintendo ever decides to do VR, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
No.
But I want to say, I don't think we're at a time where games are changing or anything's underwhelming because of that.
Yeah.
Because it's the narrative of the games that is what you're liking. The graphics are there because they have to look good. I think what was it? You get the excitement of all this stuff, but the problem is with E3, it's really hard now because for let's say us like press, we're not as needed as much anymore because all this news can be put out through YouTube. Right. They have the influencers, so their focus is changing, and we don't. And most of these companies don't know how to change. Like if you saw EA's press conference, I know you didn't. They brought in influencers to help promote the games, and these influencers, they had the following, but they didn't know what to do. So they were up there kind of like a deer in a headlight sometimes. Right. They couldn't memorize their scripts or whatever, even though they had the prompters. All these things happen now, and it changes our perception.
Also, speaking of prompters, if you've experienced one of these conventions, like an E3 in person, you notice there's a massive screens behind the guys speaking. This year, I didn't go to any of the press conferences.
Neither did I. I actually watched everything from home.
Everyone sounded like a robot reading. Like the little I did see. Usually it's pretty seamless. Yeah. This time it was like, yeah, and we are releasing the next big thing. It was like
it's probably why Sony didn't have anyone talk.
It didn't sound like it was coming from the heart.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes because there's so much, some people need to say that they forget.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people bag on her, and I feel kind of bad for her. Is Alicia Tyler?
Aisha Tyler.
She's hosted the Ubisoft press conferences for the last 4 years. This was the first year she didn't do it. But, she was having fun while doing it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people bagged because, are we going to get Alicia Tyler again this year and everything? And, I missed her because she brought some interest to these things. She might read off a teleprompter, but she still brought some feeling to it. When you get, like, Reggie go up on stage, he still has feeling back in the past. And then now that they're doing these Nintendo Directs, it's different because it's all pre-recorded.
Oh yeah.
Where we see these Xbox guys.
Yeah, where they're just sitting there for like 20 minutes talking about the history of Xbox and how it has defined the industry.
I'm also starting to see a lot of video game, like a mini E3 starting to show up at Comic-Con. Have you guys noticed that?
Well, it's been changing because it used to be just about comics.
Yeah.
Now in different industries are joining. So the movie, it's always been the movie industry joined, the video game industry joined. There's been some anime companies there as well. You have Funimation there every year, but they do like live action movies on top of anime. Viz is there, and they do the same things. So it's been expanding for years. And I mean, it's not like half the people who go there go just for Comic-Con. They go for the exclusives.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is my final thought. Great podcast, by the way, you guys. We'll be doing this more. But I just feel like the magic in E3 was, like, at least for me, kind of like going away a little. And it started last year for me, actually. But this year it was kind of like
For me, the magic was gone
Yeah.
because you couldn't do much
Yeah.
because of the way it was done. And one thing the ESA, or I should say, the people who run E3 need to change is how this convention's run. You know, I've heard good ideas. I've heard different ideas. One of the ideas is make it 4 days long, 2 days for press and industry, 2 days let the general public go in. You know, add an extra day, and I know exhibitors will hate that idea because they already don't want to be there.
They're spending a lot of money to be there. It's
Well, I mean, they'll still spend just as much money, but they have to focus on working on games.
oh yeah,
So now they're taking manpower away. They're supposed to be working on games, or they need to work on marketing, all this stuff, because you know they need to finish those games ASAP. But their producers are here, the directors are here, doing all this promotion and everything. So that's going to be different, but it's a better idea because 2 days with it's like Tokyo Game Show or Gamescom. You have 2 days for press and industry to do all their stuff. Lines will be shorter, and then you open up 2 days. You still have press and industry there, but you know we've already gotten the chance to touch whatever, and all we're worrying about is what we didn't get to touch.
yeah.
That's a different idea. And then Jeffrey asks PSX predictions. Well, we'll see more. We'll see more Spider-Man. I think we'll see more of Last of Us. Sony will I can't really say what if Sony's gonna have anything new. They're gonna show us more of what they have now. We'll probably get like a couple of surprises, but I don't really have any big predictions.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
If by now, by then and now they don't, it doesn't get a release date. Gran Turismo
Well, I mean-
Sport. I don't know.
I mean, we still have Tokyo Game Show coming up.
Yeah.
That's coming and at Gamescom. So those will give us some more ideas. So ask me around October, and I'll probably have better PSX predictions right now. All right, guys. So we've been doing this for quite a while.
We have.
So now we're going to sign off. Remember, guys, follow the Nerd Report. Subscribe if you haven't. Though I'm sure probably those of you who come probably already subscribed. But
Hopefully.
hopefully everybody subscribe. Help us out, make things better by donating to our Patreon, Nerd Report, and we hope to see you guys more often. Yeah, and you'll see a lot more from us very soon, especially more video game streaming.
Oh, definitely.
All right, catch you guys. I just gotta go to Google Hangouts because I know we're still out there.